Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, we're going to go over to TooFab.com, and this is from, it's giving me the movie, I forgot what year it came out, but it was called Orphan. It was about a couple that adopted a child, and ultimately, they found out that the child was an adult, and they tried to kill him. Sometimes real life is stranger than fiction. It says orphan Natalia Grace's adopted parents' brother speak out on fear she would kill them was actually an adult woman. Okay? And this article is done by the TooFab staff. And it says the first episode of a new documentary included allegations about Ukraine orphan claims from nurses. She propositioned male workers and raised serious questions about her adopted family's allegations. Natalia Grace, the Ukraine orphan who made headlines for her adopted family's claims she was actually an adult woman hell-bent on killing them, is at the center of the new docuseries from the ID channel. While she herself was not interviewed for the 3-night, 6-part special, both her adopted father, Michael Barrett, and his son, Jake, appeared in Monday's night's first 2 hour, detailing the disturbing behavior they allegedly witnessed after welcoming the presumably 6-year-old girl into their home. A quick refresher, Michael and Christina Barrett claimed Natalia was born with, wait a minute, hold up, let me get this right. Spondyloepithesia dysplasia came to them through an adopted agency in 2010 and were told she was 6 years old at the time, but they began to doubt her age, and in June of 2012, a Marin County Superior Court agreed to legally change the girl's birth record to indicate that she was born in 1989 and not in 2003. Shortly after, the Barretts set her up with an apartment in Lafayette, Indiana, while they moved with their 3 sons to Canada. According to her new birth date, she would have been in her 20s at the time, but not even 10 years old based on her Ukraine birth record. She eventually befriended nearby residents Antoine and Cynthia Mans, who took her into their home. The Barretts, meanwhile, were charged and arrested for neglect in 2019, but claimed Barrett was not actually a child. Burnett, was not actually a child. Michael was cleared of all 4 neglect charges he was facing on October 27th, 2022, while the charges against Christine were dismissed in March of 2023. Okay? The Curious Case of Natalia Grace features new interviews with her adopted family, as well as neighbors, friends, family, and footage of Natalia while under the Barrett's care. Most prominent in the series is Michael Barnett, who said that by the time the charges against him were made, he had no wife, I have no children, I have no home, I have no job. He added, if Natalia never entered our lives, I never get divorced. Or I'm presuming it would say I would have never gotten divorced. Throughout the first 2 hours, he explained that he had immediate concerns about Natalia after his wife discovered that the girl full public hair when they gave her one of her first baths. He and his wife pushed those initial concerns aside. However, because they felt, he said, all that mattered was there's a little girl that needed love and needed a home. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, if you're just going into that, situation. However, he said eventually we had a lot of escalation going on in the first few months. We had her calming her dark side stated to become more apparent. The escalation, according to Michael, included Natalia allegedly admitting to having her period and hiding it, her mysterious behavior when asked about her Ukraine upbringing, and threats against the family. Oof. Anytime we spoke to Natalia, hey, tell us about your orphanage, nothing, said Michael, who claimed they also introduced her to someone who spoke Ukrainian. An incident which left him believing, I swear on all things holy, Natalia never heard a word of Ukrainian in her life. We don't know who she is. We don't know where she's really from. For all we know, she had been living in the Ukraine for 20 years and found her way out. For all I know, she's an American citizen that got this to happen, he said, before claiming Natalia would urinate on one of his 3 sons and would also defecate in the car and put her hand into it and try to smear it on the boy. Oh my gosh. He also claimed she would throw herself out of the car. No. He believed reinforced the poor, helpless little girl's status, and would also purposely drop things the boys found important, like their toys in front of cars, to bait my kids to run into traffic. Oh my goodness. So they'll get run over. He said the little girl was doing as many things as possible to cause hurt or harm or mental distress to the entire family. Just 6 months after the adoption, added, I can't put into words the abject horror we had to live with. I haven't seen Natalia in like a decade. I found the situation incredibly confusing. I want to know what happened and the actual truth and everyone's motives. But at the same time, I don't want to remember that, and I don't want to have to revisit a lot of trauma from my childhood. Michael's son, Jake, who now lives in his dad's basement, said near the top of the series. It's difficult for me to piece together what happened with adopting Natalia. Yeah. Though he said he was excited to have a sister at first and recalled feeling overjoyed the day that I met her, Jake too pointed out her lack of knowledge of where she came from. I don't recall her having any belongings from the orphanage, any Ukrainian toys. She didn't seem to know much about Ukraine. At one point, we asked her what's it like in Ukraine, and she's like, it's always summer there, he said with a laugh. There was a set of things that didn't add up. Natalia had no accent. She didn't know a Cyrillic alphabet. I apologize if I mispronounced that. She knew no Ukrainian. The dynamic between Natalia and the rest of the family began to shift pretty early. There was a lack of trust, Jacob continued. Natalia did have behavioral issues, which certainly the adopted process must have been traumatic. Abandonment issues are a thing, and Natalia was abandoned multiple times. Jacob also confirmed that it was a frequent occurrence for Natalia to soil surfaces that she wasn't supposed to, and said there was certainly a lot of fear in the home as they wandered. What if Natalia actually harms one of us? Both Michael and Jacob claimed Natalia would hide knives under her bed, with Jacob saying she had intentions to attack us. Michael said the girl even told him she was going to kill you in your sleep when she asked about the knives. Wow. Okay. He also claimed she pledged it in Christine's coffee and admitted she was trying to kill her or poison her, his ex-wife. While the adopted father said that the adoption agency was unhelpful when it came to their situation, they began to see a therapist, including one who had told them they were in extreme danger and said Natalia was a psychopath. That's a very scary feeling. I definitely didn't feel safe around Natalia. I just was scared, recalled Jacob. I certainly have the instinct now. I can't share a drink with someone unless I've seen the surface of it the entire time. It's probably rooted in the fear Natalia's coming to poison us. Still working through it. I think I might need a minute. I'm sorry. A good chunk of the second hour was devoted to Michael claiming Natalia got into a physical altercation with Christine while on a trip to a farm, for their son's birthday. He claimed he took the boys for a walk before he heard screaming and saw what looked like Natalia trying to pull Christina towards an electric fence they had all been warned about previously. He said that while Natalia in a small stature, she got guns like Schwarzenegger, since she uses her arms a lot to get around and could overpower the frail Christine. The second I heard the sirens, I thought Christine is dead. Natalia had been trying to pull Christine into an electric fence. She'd been screaming out loud, "You effing bee. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. You bee. You're going to die," he said, claiming the girl also told the police who responded to the incident that she was trying to kill Christine. But Michael seemed to contradict himself later in the episode, as in another interview he said he didn't see anything at all because he and the sons were in the forest far from the altercation. He said he didn't speak with any of the officers and said Natalia was no longer at the scene by the time he and the boys got back. The witnesses at the creamery was also interviewed, who said he didn't recall any of that being said or any of the threats being made after being shown the video of Michael's interview comments. I just felt like the situation had been overblown and was not the big of a deal, he added. A forensics interview of Natalia from 2019 was also shown, in which she claimed Christine simply fell while they were getting up off of the ground. I guess she thought I was trying to put her into the electric fence or whatever, said Natalia. So she called the police on that. She also said she never wanted to hurt her adopted family. Following the incident, she was taken to the state hospital, who allegedly moved her into an adult ward after seeing her pubic hair. According to Michael, she allegedly reiterated her intent to kill the boys while there, writing in the journal, "I am going to stab them with a knife while they're asleep. I'm going to drag their bodies underneath of the deck out back." He claimed she was He claimed she was propositioning the men at the facility as well, while an unnamed nurse said that Natalia often talked about sex and was very extral. okay in general in their care. The nurse claimed Natalia would talk to the men who worked there about dating them and wanted to have a boyfriend, she added. The language that she was using with the males, I was shocked. There was a mention of her doing actual favors for money. The first two episodes include Michael also claiming a police detective questioned the child's age during a welfare check and even told the family to correct her age. That detective, however, has since passed on. And in an email from him showing on the special, wrote by all accounts, Natalia is a child. Footage from a Ukrainian investigator who tried to track down Natalia's alleged birth mother in 2020 also showed him talking to the woman's twin sister. The sister was seen calling Anna, the presumed birth mother, on the phone. And while she did not want to be interviewed, Anna said it is 17 years, which would seemingly confirm Natalia's age to be right around what the agency said it was when she was adopted. My God, why can't they leave me alone? I don't want to talk about anybody, she said in the translated video. The episode included acquaintances of the Barnetts, who are also part of the little persons community, coming to the belief that the adopted parents were totally lying about Natalia, while a neighbor said she felt she had been fooled into thinking the Barnetts were a perfect family before adopting Natalia. The case of the curious Natalia Grace continues tonight, Wednesday, on ID. If you're looking for something interesting to watch, I would suggest you go and watch it. I have not watched the first the episodes that came out, but I do plan to actually go. And I think this is a picture of her. Also, they did change her birth. This is the reason why everything was dismissed, because they actually changed her birth certificate to reflect that she was 22 and, not the presumed age that she was supposed to have been at the time of the adoption, or whatever the case was. So, yeah, it's a lot of, ins and outs, and it's definitely interesting. Like I said, if you're looking for something to watch and you like these types of, docu-series, I would highly suggest that you tune in and start from the beginning. The next episode is coming out. So, there you go. And definitely drop down in the comment section and chop it up with me. I love to hear from you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as always. And thank you so much. I do appreciate you taking the time out to watch my videos. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. And I will get with you in the next one.